Welcome. And the day's attorney. Paul will reconnounce, assume both sides are ready. Kind of. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. What? I can't stand the defense acting like this. However, why do you always seem so distraught? Distraught? Mr. Edward? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgy Boy? It was like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edward, if you could please tell us the code, the result of the handwriting analysis of Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What? Like what? Is a forgery? What do you mean, Mr. Edward? This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It's a fake. There's an ambulance and everything. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, someone died. Okay. Oh, the horror, Mr. Edward. Would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impact, then who wrote it? We'll need more time to do more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Corrida? Oh, well. The likes Miss Impact never left a suicide note, after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so that facts remain in change. Acting under the assumption that it was the real, he had power to possess it. That does sound very plausible. His theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts the testimony. The argument the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, that it is impossible for Mr. Engard to have known it was a fake. You mean the transmitter? The camera? What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Miss Edward, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note. Because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means that Mr. Engard would have known that the victim had forged the note. So that the defendants knew the suicide note was fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder is, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote a note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edward. Why don't you show us proof that the victim made up the forgery at an unknown place? Order, Mr. Edward. Looks like this time it's you who has to dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Miss Edward, you are not making any sense. When I heard the result, the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. Really? You thought this will happen? That it was forgery? The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution, what next? If the prosecution can prove Miss Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Ooh. Oh well, that's fine. However, the witness is a little unusual. Edward stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, that's what the witness is this person, Mr. Edward. This witness is one who is perfectly fitted to answer once and for all the question of who was it hired Shelley the killer to commit murder. That's impossible. Winter, no such person who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Miss Edward, who is this witness you're talking about? It's Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself. The legend. The man himself. The legend. Mr. Shelly the Killer. Oh, I see. Mr. the Killer. Wait, what? Shelly the Killer? You bring the murder in this courtroom? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstances to ask, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright, yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice in here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objection, Your Honor. I wonder if it's really alright to do this. Very well then, prosecutor calls it is witness to the stand. Edward, is there no other way left to us? How do you have these contacts in the first place? Did he decide to contact you for some particular reason? Now then, witness, I really cannot recall. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelly Takala. I am a professional assassin. I say? Wait, what's going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now. It came with a condition. As long as we do not raise his source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. How do we know that we are not doing it already? So this must be what that urgent phone call we got earlier was about. No, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure he's really Mr. the Killer himself. I agree with that statement. How the fudge you know that he's someone, like, you know, interpreting him? Impersonating him. Witness, please to present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly the Killer. Understand? Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Oh no. Maya! Maya! A voice, Mr. Wright. Can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objection to this person. We're certified that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. Looks like we have to run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too much of a choice. Too many choices under these circumstances. So, now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what will that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say, I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Gulp. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all I just read. Yes, that is a bad brain. Shelly the Killer. What is he going to say? There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. That is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. Killer seems to be a very clever man. I almost say he seems to be mocking us. It seems like. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about his trust between his client and himself, I think. You seem to be level trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collect, Phoenix. Oh no, this is gonna be a mess. Trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you are testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. There was certainly. That's enough, please. No more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp it. Oh, sorry. I wanted to... What do I want to do? This seems a little strange to me. I mean, you are about to tell us the name of your client. Do you think that this will be very bad for them? It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside the prescribed rule. The rule? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? Would you care to die? Oh, no, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. Well, the rules are carried out. Sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Well, I figured. Now then, everyone. Do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can, then I'm afraid we can proceed. Everyone understand your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Excellent. Guys, I mean, you're about to tell. Okay. It doesn't matter to me. This client roll, blah 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 blah. Okay. Vad som to me. What is it? I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. You can ask it, Mr. Wright, and I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan? Corrida. The person's name is... Oh my god. Andrews. What? Witness! That's not what you told me he was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, it is Adrian Andrews. What? What the fuck is going on? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? I guess it's that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Adrian in the back. Stabbed Adrian in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with his court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Nothing God, perhaps. This is outrageous. I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie, but you were the one who summoned this witness. You Shelly the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Martin God, am I correct? All I wish to do is help him procure his act. Wow, all of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is forgery created by the victim. But the more there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Mattengard is innocent. Oh my god! What's going on? I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Okay. Pilot, please bring Miss Andrea Andrews immediately. Well now, the way it is going, Andrea will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah. But Andrea is right. The killer is mine. And God, my client, know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Can you? Who will believe that the prosecution's own witness will absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further questions the witness. Shelly the Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. The testimony just now. It was all a one big lie. Miss Andrews, this suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, he's the reason Celeste died. And Joan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. the testimony just now. You have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and a button donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. You know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her and you wanted to revenge against the two who hurt her. I will say you have plenty of reason to want them both there. And Mr. Wright, you know the truth. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please help me. Yes, I know the truth. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I'd ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the culpability and save mine? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for gumshoe new evidence? What am I supposed to do? What's the trial to continue? Phoenix! I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept I'm not guilty. You are a lawyer, I know. But mad than God, he's a killer. A murderer! I can't let him get away with this. Can't let someone else take the fall. Then I am not better than that God. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgewood that I now know the real truth. I could have gotten God convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Miss Wright, your opinion? Please continue. The best request that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. And I'm hearing you call after him, Mr. Wright? Right. But the witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet to see through the witness lies and find the truth. That's my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Miss Edward, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? What you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about, usually done? But what should we have him testify about now? Mr. Aquila, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedure. It is any wonder no one likes you, likes to go to court? You're harassed, right? As I have already stated quite a few times, Andrew Andrews is my client. However, one thing he simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame an order for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and to enter the scene. Andrew Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and the button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is most expanded turn of events for the 5th time now? Okay. However, this time, every tongue has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Miss Edward? We still have the cross-examining to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I suppose the lies is also beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. Me either. That makes 2 of us. Not 3, the 3 of us. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. Tequila. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass? Mr. Kerr's supposed client of Mr. Garita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just part of Adrian Sanders' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point, Miss Edward. What is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Garita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. It's so messy. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Objection, Mr. Edwards, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without having evidence. Sorry. Sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. Objection! While we wait for the item the killer left behind to get here. Just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Okay. Lovely. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was requested for my service on the night of the award ceremony. We meet at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistake. Okay. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one of the clients is the first step to building a trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Pretty please. So you physically meet Andrew Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. Interesting. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between our client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eyes. Okay. Well, Mr. I'm sorry if I scared you. I guess it's very important. Oh no. Wait, what? Why he meets his client is not important, that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my question. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him, face to face, that I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, sorry, just now of any important? It was very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was that most important. Huh? Really? Is that the case? Witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. I would like to go over this one more time. You meet Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at the time. Yes, that's correct. And that's why, that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times I must repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelly the killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made the one very slip up about her. So what is the issue? What did you just say? About her? If you had ever met Andrew Andrews in person, one will have told you that she's a woman. Exploded. Order! In the court, Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? The witness testified to the following: that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means that Mr. the Killer client could not have been Mr. Andrews. Adrian Andrews. UGN. Miss Andrews, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? Basic. I believe that has to do with her name, not Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Wow. Androgynous name. Andrea. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender, and so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? Wait, what? What is going on? Charlie the Killer, this court demand an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you will allow me to testify once more. Ark, I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. But nothing but the truth. Yes, now remember I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and two or three other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I told my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about the letter in his earlier testimony? Which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay, like we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Will he? Now then, cross-examination. Start! Two or three other things. Yes, and what were the other things? Sorry. A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. I see. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his button the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they are related to these cases for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's a smell the stench of a backstabber, and should you turn out to be one? Wait! Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I'm gonna press my luck, right? I have to think it's worth pursuing. Yes! Witness is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested you were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that his job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You wait for your client? Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just did in your testimony, as you wish. Charlie the Killer, you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews. Then this item should not have been cited. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do you need to pack my suitcase? Yeah, I guess so. Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been Miss Andrews' hands. I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! So what's where you two were going? So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bag, you tell us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means? It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to beat the client. Order! It's a Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that's your intention, there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend now to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to speed and I may stay my hand otherwise. Nya. What in the... Mr. Wright, are you? Mr. Edward? Yes, Your Honor. Concerning this witness outburst just now, do you think there is a need of hearing more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edward, we can do this. If we keep this up, rationally. The prosecution... What has come over everyone, even you are... The prosecution... rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further question, Your Honor. What? Well, never thought I'd see the day. This is most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further question, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. The Killer testimony is accurate. That will mean that Shelley the Killer client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Angard, will be declared innocent. In his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder. Andrews will be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further question, but we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant's Matt Angard to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome of our lives in your hands. Actually, I wanna save just in case. Did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it will appear you are innocent. Huh. So, I guess even an old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Angard? What a treasure lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. That's refreshing like spring breeze crap is just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice, or should I save my life? You better get a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. If I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as murder. Say he's guilty or not guilty. Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all injures what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired assassin was Adrian Andrews, and your client, Mr. Matt Angard, is innocent, there's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count that evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt and God, is guilty, not guilty. Oh no. What do I choose? What do I choose? I want to say guilty. Let's save Maya. We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Mother God, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Mother God is... Franziska von Karma! Wow. You see now, don't you? Mr. Phoenix Wright. This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to understand, Mr. Wright. The von Karma is perfect every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy, he's fine. And his injuries are minor. Half of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat is this. The scavenger can spot these tattered rags anywhere. Apology for these arguments, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. Why did they have to follow long and hard his whole trial? Oh, what is inside that ragged coat? I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Does it? Okay. Oh, Your Honor, inside that filthy coat, a defense final piece of evidence. Your final evidence? His story is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now will change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss von Karma be allowed to present this piece of evidence. I suppose you are right, Miss Adrian. I grant permission to do so. However, some obvious rules applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Mr. von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, the killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somehow, somewhere among the evidence we are about to see, will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The worst item is a pistol. Does the killer pistol have anything to do with this case? Kind of. I mean, he did shot von Karma with it. Does this have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform ballistic tests, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it was something to do with this case, at least with me. That's the pistol that he's used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh, I keep the bullet I removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. Okay, so that's the pistol that was used to shoot the Franziska. I'm probably not going to help us very much. Second piece of evidence is a videotape. I better care to that from Engard Mansion. I just checked the contents of that tape. Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah, but I wouldn't speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right, it looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is bellboy uniform. Is that uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Let's look for more details. Well, was that used during the crime? I guess so. I almost certainly was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There is no doubt about that. The killer was wearing these one. He's on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about his uniform. What is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. Button? There's a very unique button. I'm sure we will recover it. It will provide us with an interesting clue. What? Is that important? A button? Okay. That's all I have to present, Your Honor. Huh. Just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? Still didn't change any sorry. Still didn't change any idea. I'm sure we are under normal circumstances. This item from Charlie the Killer hideout will be very important clues. However, our question is now not who did the killing, it is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. These 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Von Karma. You may step down. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this that? Phoenix! I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You come to this far, you can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try for my sake, just think about it for a second. There's 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2 ways? 2? The first! Making God wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If then God himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but he's asking me to do the impossible. The second way forces the killer to end his contract with Vanguard. If the killer will no longer think of Vanguard as his client, then he will let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty towards his client above all else. I know, but these seem like impossible things at first. If you could make either one happen, it will truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said that doesn't need any more evidence. The piece has just shown he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge say he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. They have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have someone to know the truth. There is one person who has yet to see them all. That person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about a miracle in the end. There is no objection this time, correct? Now then I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Objection! Have I already told you, Mr. Wright? This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, we'll grant you one chance. My only chance. One chance. One chance. One chance. One chance. One only chance. Or ain't no chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. It's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember. If everything that has happened up to this point, think, Phoenix, think. There must have a way to save Maya while taking guards down at the same time. Out then, Mr. Wright. Let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? Johnny Doe? I see. And now? Tell this girl what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The videotape. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edward? I think there is some merit showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring it transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found on your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get his back. That was most regretful. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to write that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Hmm? There was a video camera hidden in the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime will be your client, naturally. Oh, was Adrian Andrews? Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes? That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Kinga film the crime scene? The reason why he did is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client will secretly film the crime scene. I think he wanted to become the name for you. He even say so. Your client once told me something very interesting. We're talking about, and this is what they said. But I'm not weakling, I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright, assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail me. Yeah, blackmail you. What do you have to say that, Charlie the Killer? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. It's the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots on how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may rise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. Say that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. What if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I will break our contract in that case. And then, that client will become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I will follow that person to the ends of the earth to accept my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer next target. Huh, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you, your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I actually am sort of, don't quite know... Miss Von Kam, where did that? She's always have you in her sights. Now I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. God, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you will understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict is you, if you please. Is that alright with you, Mr. Wright? You have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether they're convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix, plead whichever one you tells you. Right, Chief. Plead not guilty. Congratulations, Mr. Martin God. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Martin Guard. Please wait. What's the matter? If I get not guilty, I'll be killed. I'm. Guilty. Guilty. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helped me out much in this. Miss Edward, how is Matt and God? Let Miss Mulcama in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal. Oh, we blather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, what hell was despair? She must be talking about the time Edward really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put it? She has an illness. She's overly dependent. Oh no. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, it's the first time I ever see her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirit, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. Clark. You were great out there, Phoenix. Thank you. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a non-guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived at the final piece of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Wait, what? Sounds like a narrator speaking. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. I can't count the evidence help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice or should I save my life? My client, Matt and Goddess. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choice then. Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right! My answer was not guilty. Edward, I have a good news. Maya is now safe in police. Really? Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edward? Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in the courthouse. Ah, Missing Maya! Missing Maya is safe! You did it! Really did it, Mr. Nick. Oh, she punches deceptively hard for a kid? I believe in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her! Mr. Nick will save her! No, thanks. Oh, what's wrong? Miss Von Karma. About earlier, thanks. Ouch. Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy. I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time after all. I was like that myself until a year ago. Edward? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I use every dirty tricks in the book, and so my win record remains spotless, but a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish man. I followed him in my usual manner, and that's my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant chair. and I was saved by that person I called my enemy. Couldn't forgive myself for all that happened, so I left the prosecutor office. And after that I know Prosecutor Miles Edwards chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with a feet should crawl into a hole and die. But that has not what happened. After I left the prosecutor office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutor use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, a man will hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses, the truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing that we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy, we claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach one single truth. This, I promise you. The truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you? Right. Nothing that's philosophical, to be honest. That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory ran away into the night. Is Mr. Edward right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. No, I want my 500 grand back. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become an attorney to begin with was because I believe in the things you say to me. Those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that Miles Edwards I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma? I don't want to hear that wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edwards, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. And this guy threw something on the ground just now. It's an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing you used to try to attach Gumshoe? Right to this person's letter. There's something else. Isn't that Miss Von Karma whip? And I set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that is what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Why? Okay. Nick! Maya! You're alive! Missing Maya! Missing Maya! Oh, the thumbnail? No, I'm probably gonna use something else. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Too wholesome. Don't like it. Don't like me. No, Nick, I knew you would come true. Of course you knew. You got convicted like I knew you would. Well, not really. I was trying to save you. On top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I will never desert you. We sure impressed our luck this round. You're really lucky to be standing here. Yes, you are. A lot. Whatever it looks. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I will just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Ooh. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edward! I'm relieved you are right. Hey, looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edward. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from now, from who I was a year ago. Huh. That's the sound effect they decided to go with? Okay. Alright. Alright, okay. I think it's time we got out with this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grab! Chow! I'm starved. I'm so hungry even you look like a nice juicy burger. On a bun to me, Nick? On a bun? You think it looked like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Miss Edward, please. If you insist. Should we check on Gumshoe? Because, I mean, got run over by a car. Anyway, right, so how about hit up an unusual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This game is messed up that saw some evening got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided I have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick. Food! Oh, we went back to the hotel. Oh, damn. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guy waiting. Gumshoe, are you right? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit that telephone pole on all things. Telephone pole? It was a red light that got him. You did it again, city boy. Feel like I'm there, so hardcore's going to give him out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of Steel Samurai. You say so? Thanks. No, looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. We reckon a bully Mr. Right hard. Why am I using the Irish accent? If you don't stop being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it tonight even. I'm really bad at doing that. How was like a southerner sound like? American southerner like? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I cannot get it. Well, come on now, everyone gather around. Why keep doing that? You're all gonna get over a picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight is all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that. Amen to that, pal. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh, me? You really think so? He's right. If I wasn't for the 3 items we took, I think the trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. Huh? What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. Huh. Was a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. Oh, boys, tell you really are something else. Oh? You mean the bottom? Between getting accused murder and getting kidnapped. Now the moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? About being shut away for the whole days. Are you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sound like you had a rough gal? Said it were this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to miss my picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Oh, that's so bad. Well, it's alright, it wasn't anything important anyway. Yes, I guess so. Sure, it's nice finally to see them both smiling again. Wait, what I think is this? It is? What is it, Madrid? This thing is picking something up. Oh, that's Miss Von Camera receiver. Oh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. Can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd, even though you are standing right here. Tracking device seems to be in different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Oh, Miss Edward. Wait, what? But, Miss Edward, you haven't even eaten anything yet. You've eaten way too much, you glutton. Have fun tonight, now, if you excuse me. There's so many things happening that was kind of weird. Wait, what? I guess they were not important. I just want to say, thanks, Edward. You really saved me out here. Yeah, you should be saying thanks. It should be me, right? Feels like the words alone are enough here. You owe me. I wonder if there's anything I can give you to express how I feel. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you too. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. It looks like Miss Edgar has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Missing Maya? Yes, Belly. I guess you two can go back being lovely dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick and me? Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying? Something full. Please ignore the noise. So who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone says thanks to Nick. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kind of already put my name on the bill. No, sorry, I put your name on the bill. Huh? Yeah, got me a situation just like that myself. Sting camera shop is still sold out, see? I just bought myself this good old beauty here. Better be anyhow for 3,000. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your Tabaho. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Oh, you don't need all that now. You hear? Yeah, pal. Then we'll let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. We are busy being a hostage and all. Hostage and all, really? Alright then, if you say so. Ladies and gentlemen, we ended finally the farewell my turnabout. And to hide a letter, but I knew you found it. Ah, well, never mind. I'm gonna read it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about it? Was interesting, right? Was kinda interesting, isn't it? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Huh? So finally, thank you. Of course, I knew all these beforehand because I already played the blind reading, although I couldn't remember some details. It is what it is. I mean, this is justice for all. Last episode. The next one will be much more interesting, trust me. But I say, if I recall correctly, she's gonna leave the force, isn't she? And Maggie Bryant, I'm retiring this uniform. Yeah, it's not. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. It's kind of a weird change. Bring smile and joy to the people who came by the restaurants, huh? Yes, don't worry, we'll be there. Crack indeed. Anyway, there's some stuff that concerning me. Oh, well, who's that? Yeah. I wonder if I'm gonna need to add a webcam. There's so many things I could try out. Like pickle. What if I do that? To do this? Sounds like a terrible plan. Well, I cannot understand why there was so much disagreement towards still doing it? Okay. what I was saying is that I can't understand why a lot of people didn't like it as much. The second, Justice for All. Because it's kind of messy, because you have to move back and forth too much. At least in the first one was not that confusing. Also overwhelming. That's messy. Homepage. Yeah, I have a homepage. Oh my god, even assassins and murderers and killers have homepages now, guys. I don't even have one, and I'm trying to do something like YouTube stuff. Oh my god, what a disgrace. Oh, he's leaving, right? Where are you going, Franziska? How did you know I was here? Wait, this. What? I heard that you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. Huh. That's just like you. Only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going into trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that, man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? Then he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in her... It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? Oh, now I remember what was it. That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up. You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska. So many expectations from everyone surrounding me. Expectation I must fulfill. Expect to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that. But me, I'm not genius. I always know that. But I had to be one. Had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you're a prosecutor. You have been out there and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I'm gonna throw my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me these to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this will happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You always left me alone and walk on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind will have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can, just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You're going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me after I left you behind all these years. And that's why we were standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. You say you are going to quit your walk down to the prosecutor's path. Then, this is where we part ways. Franziska von Karma. I am Franziska von Kama. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. It was kind of interesting see her crying. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you. We'll take good care of this full piece. I'll take good care of this full piece, so I can give it to you. And at last we meet again. Which will never happen? I don't know. There it is. It was the full piece of evidence. It was the Maya drawing, basically, that she couldn't show. Achievement unlocked. Ladies and gentlemen, there is the end of the game Justice for All. Please leave a like, subscribe, or something else. I don't know. Leave a tomahawk, if you could. And take care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you well. And I hope you stay awesome. This is the part where I end the video with objection. So yeah. Goodbye. Oh, what